Hello, friends, and welcome in. I'm Justin. This is the Lord and the Rings because bling bling goes the ring. I don't know why I started with that. Anyways, on this channel, we take two great things and we combine them best we can. The world of Tolkien and following after Jesus. So in this video, we're going to deep dive into, I think, one of the most dangerous things about hobbits that we get from the prologue. And no, it's not their stealth. It's not their keen eyesight. It's not even their ability to throw rocks with great accuracy. It's actually what's the most dangerous to them. But even worse, we're capable of the same thing. And that's what I want to press into if we're not careful. So if you didn't know, we are reading The Lord of the Rings together, literally one chapter a week, one video a week. No, you are not too late. We are about to kick it off. And so if you want to check the playlist, Lord of the Rings read along, you can keep up. And I think it'd be fun to get that rolling. Watch those videos, and I think all this will make even more sense. But let's get to the text that I want to talk about today and try to connect everything together that I want to. So here we go. So this is, I made a little picture of these hobbits living their normal life with something looming, and they're not careful. They're not watching for it. And this could happen if they're not careful. But here's what I want to read for us today. The land was rich and kindly. The hobbits named it the Shire. This is from the prologue. As named it the Shire, as the region of the authority. Man, I'm struggling with my buttons. I'm so sorry. Of their Thane, in a district of well-ordered business of living, and they heeded less and less the world outside. There we go, where dark things moved, until they came to think that peace and plenty were the rule in Middle-earth, and the right of all sensible folk. They forgot or ignored what little they had ever known of the guardians, and of the labor of those that made possible the long peace of the Shire. They were, in fact, sheltered, but they had ceased to remember it. Okay, so to live as if nothing evil exists. We have a word for that. Delusion, right? A false sense of peace. There is an entitlement. There is an ignorance to hobbits that a lot of times, I don't want to hobbit bash in this video, but let's not think of them as perfect. We can't. There are flaws, and I think Tolkien is getting at that. It reminds me of a dude named Boderherd. Okay, we're going to call him Bo. Actual historical guy. I'm going to tell a quick story, and feel free to subscribe and begin to comment below. But in 789 AD, okay, true story, England was not ready for war, and so there was a local sheriff that patrolled the coast, which was normal. But on one unlucky day, this sheriff named Boderherd spotted some strange ships approaching the shoreline, and he did not think much of the ships. He figured maybe they're merchant boats coming to trade. In his mind, everything was peaceful and fine. Dark things stayed away. So he did not raise any alarms. He did not, even draw his sword. At length, a wonderfully crafted vessel slid onto the sands of the coast, and he approached, and who knows what Bo was thinking. He's looking out. He's just like, man, look, are those dragons carved onto the bow? Like, these are beautiful ships. Bro probably thought, amazing. Maybe I'll invite these guys to tea. Well, we probably know what happens as he walks up to extend a welcome and an invitation. Huge blonde-haired warriors leapt off the ships. They're swinging axes like wild men, and he got slaughtered. Many English men on those English beaches that day died. They were the first casualties of the Viking Age. The Vikings had come. It was only a matter of time. People died that day because Sheriff Bo lived in a false narrative of peace. He had deluded himself into thinking that the dark things stay out. And so he was sitting on his heels. The English had lured themselves into a stupor, a happy, bubbly, comfortable delusion, which would have worked had the Vikings not existed. But the Vikings existed, and so war had come upon them. And I hope you see the connection, at least between the hobbits and the Vikings. Now let's bring in Christians, right? Had it not been for Gandalf and the mysterious guardians and so many others that fought and protected the Shire directly or indirectly, these hobbits would have perished like Numenor beneath a tidal wave, except of probably orcs, right? But their life and existence would have gone on like normal until it wasn't. And that's a frightening thing. And so what I want to connect real quick is that we Christians can do the same thing. I want to take you to Ephesians 6 and just kind of feel the rallying cry of Paul as he's, kind of getting us Christians off our heels. And so we read in Ephesians 6, 10 to 20. I'll just look at this briefly. But we can pretend as Christians, especially Christians in the West, that we are safe, that we are not under attack. We can delude ourselves into a stupor, which is why these words are loud in our ears. They are grating. They can feel uncomfortable, but they are highly motivating. And so here's what I want to show you. I'll zoom in a little bit. Finally, be strong in the Lord. You guys probably are familiar with this passage, but hear it anew. Be strong in the Lord. So what's crazy about that? We are called to be strong. A lot of times Christians, we hear we are to be weak. Yes, we are weak. In our weakness, we go to the Lord. We gather his strength sourced in Jesus, and then we are to be strong. The goal of the Christian life is not to be weak. We are warriors. We are to be strong, but we start out weak. And so that's the dynamic that often doesn't get pressed into. And in the strength of his might, we put on the whole armor of God, okay? Why do we put on the armor of God? So that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. We are not out against other people, but against rulers. These rulers we know are and authorities. They are cosmic. They are spiritual. And so anyways, all of this shows that we are to wake up. Can we see this? Yeah. Be strong. Armor up. And stop pretending that we're in a false narrative of peace. This line from Tolkien is just frightening. It just haunts me because I don't wake up most days saying, "Hey, time to fight." I roll over. What's on my notifications? How much creamer am I going to put in my coffee? And not that that's bad, but it's like, man, this is serious. And so this is a frightening reality. For us as Christians, we need to wake up. We need to grab the ring. We need to head off to Mordor. We have a cause. Following Jesus, we bear a cross. Let's remember that Satan is upon us. He is attacking us. He hates us. He desires our doom. And he hates non-Christians too. And so we want to fight with our allies, non-Christians, to see them redeemed in the gospel, by the gospel, so that we are, which to start means that we have to remember that we are, what's the line? That peace and plenty, right? We're the rule in Middle-earth, and it's so Hobbit-like, and the right of all sensible folk. There's no such thing as sensible folk, especially as you talk about the cosmic darkness around us. Let's fight. Let's stop pretending that peace and plenty are just the right of sensible folk. So, hey, I hope you like this video. I hope it's a wake-up call, but a encouraging warning. Come read The Lord of the Rings with us. We're just starting, and we'll see you next time. Bye.